Abdullah was a man from Balkh. He migrated to Bukhara during the Great Khorasan era, and married a woman named Satari, who gave birth to a child named Hussein in 980 AD. His birth marked the beginning of the life of a physician, whose findings continue to shape the world today.
Hello. Welcome to Iran's History and Culture channel. We, in this channel, pay attention to the culture and history of Iran. Also, we talk about some points that you might not know about Iran. Therefore, expect to learn a lot. If you would like, you can subscribe our channel and press the bell button, to become aware about new videos that we upload. Hope that you enjoy.
Abdullah sent Sina, later known as Avicenna, to school when he was still very young. Back then, only the Quran and literature were taught in schools, but Avicenna was exceptionally intelligent and showed plenty of passion for geometry. At 14, in addition to learning the Quran and literature, he began studying philosophy. He read Al-Farabi's and Aristotle's works. At 17 he began his medical practice. He started treating patients using his knowledge of medicine, which he gained from studying medical books mostly written by Indian physicians. Avicenna conducted many different experiments on animals and discovered the mode of contagion of many diseases. At that time Nu ibn Manzur, or Nu II, the Samanid king of the time, had fallen ill. Many court doctors had failed to treat him. Since Avicenna had become well known as a young prodigy, the court doctors consulted him. Avicenna managed to successfully heal the king. The king was very satisfied with Avicenna and asked him to live there as a court doctor. Nu II tells Avicenna that he can ask the king for whatever he wants, women, fortune, etc. Avicenna however answers that he wants none of those, but only total access to the court library. The Bukhara library was one of the most important scientific resources of the Islamic Golden Age. Other people in the court did not respect Avicenna. His young age made him seem like a fraud. But eventually, they realized his deep talent and extreme skills in medical treatment. The scientists of Bukhara began assuming that there is some trace of magic and sorcery in his work. On the other hand, the merchants wanted to produce Avicenna's medicine in abundance to make money and profit through it. In the end, Avicenna created a circle of people and invited all the traders and scientists of the city to the meeting. In the meeting, he explained all of his methods to them. This grabbed everyone's attention in Bukhara and made the tradesmen very angry. Eventually, Avicenna loses his father and the Samanid era also comes to an end. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni enters Bukhara. In the beginning, Avicenna was optimistic about Sultan Mahmud's reign, thinking that he would save Bukhara from its current state. With the betrayal of Nu's followers, Sultan Mahmud manages to enter Bukhara without any bloodshed. He was even welcomed by the people of the city. Later the members of the court murdered the Samanid king too. However, shortly after the beginning of the Ghaznavid era, the situation became very difficult for Avicenna and he felt that he could not stay in Bukhara any longer. Therefore he was forced to leave his birthplace. After leaving Bukhara, he became a wanderer in Greater Khorasan. From one city to the next, from one village to the next, he was looking for a sanctuary. Finally, he ended up in Gorgan. In Gorgan, he was acquainted with Abu Ubaid al-Juzjani. He was an Iranian author and scientist. Juzjani becomes Avicenna's student and disciple. He is responsible for what we know of Avicenna today because, after his death, Juzjani began writing Avicenna's biography. Some believe Avicenna lost his mother during this time, and some that he had already lost her before leaving Bukhara. In his later migrations, Avicenna enters a town called Urgench, located in present-day Uzbekistan in the Khorasan province. When he enters Urgench, the cholera plague had contaminated the whole city. Avicenna was requested to leave the city, but he decided to stay there and resist the disease. Historians believe that Abu Rayhan al-Biruni was another great Islamic scientist who was in Urgench at the time. Avicenna and al-Biruni met each other there. The people of those times did not have any scientific knowledge and thought that the plague was a God-sent punishment. They thought their society had committed blasphemy and corruption, hence the occurrence of the plague. Avicenna starts treating this disease. He calls for a meeting between the scientists and the authorities of the town and asked for their help in his research. Avicenna tells them that cholera is a contagious disease and can be transmitted from one person to another. He told them that big human gatherings must become restricted and asked them to stop the communal Muslim prayer for a while. These policies were accepted by the local authorities and heralded in the city. They asked the shopkeepers to take their items door to door so that no crowds would form in the bazaar. They also asked them to collect the coins in a bowl instead of touching them. The results were incredible. Avicenna managed to defeat cholera in Urgench after a short period. After this experience, he started writing a book called Al-Shifa, or the Book of Healing. Sultan Mahmud sent an ambassador to Avicenna several times and asked him to return to Bukhara to continue his medical practice there. He even promised him great money in return. However, Avicenna would always disagree. Shortly after, his army arrives in Urgench and forces Avicenna to leave the area. He was again wandering from one city to another. Finally, in the year 1014 AD, he migrates to Ray. In those times Ray was ruled by Rostam Daylami. As it happens, Daylami too was suffering from illness. Avicenna starts treating him and succeeds. After a short while, Khosrow Daylami starts going towards Ray and manages to conquer it. Avicenna leaves Ray and goes to Ghazvin. There the guards of Shah Khosrow capture him and take him back to court. He was forced to take on a position in the Shah's court against his desire. However, even this did not last much. After a while, Shah Khosrow died and Avicenna used this opportunity to exit the court. After this, he went to Hamadan. There he was arrested once more. The reason for this arrest is not clear. Some say they had accused him of spying and some say it was due to the direct orders of Sultan Mahmud. He was then taken to prison. In prison, he started writing his magnum opus, a book called Al-Qanun, or the Canon of Medicine. Avicenna was supposed to stay in prison for a long time, but he was freed soon due to the uprising of the people of Hamadan who attacked the prison, and Avicenna managed to escape. During his stay in Hamadan, he becomes ill with a chronic disease. The exact nature of the illness is not known. Some say he had colic, and some say he contracted cancer. Whatever it was, his illness had grown very much during that time. Finally, in 1037, he died at age 58 in Hamadan. The body of this great scientist is buried in Hamadan, where he died. His mausoleum is still there and shines like a jewel in one of the main squares of the city. His marital status was never clarified. There are different historical opinions. Some say Avicenna had married a maid who had escaped from Balkh, but he had no children from her. Some say he never married. What's clear is that he had no children to carry his legacy forward. Most of his works are written in Arabic and were later translated into Farsi. But he also has some works in Farsi, like the Ali Encyclopedia, in which he even translated some Arabic words into Farsi. In fact, he invented Farsi vocabulary for Arabic words. His works became so popular that they soon spread in the Western world. In the 15th century, Avicenna's works were translated into many different international languages. In the 17th century, his works were taught at many medical academies across the West as the main reference book of medicine. A hidden crater on the moon is named after him and in his honor. In France, a hospital is named after him as well. Also, UNESCO awards a biannual prize to philosophers and ethics researchers named the Avicenna Award. These are only a few of the things named after him in the modern world.
If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like it, and share it with your friends. Do not hesitate to provide your view regarding this video by putting your comments below. Your comments would help us to improve our work, and also, they help us to take your views into account for the future topics that we select. Furthermore, you can subscribe to our channel to become aware of our new videos.